36. Tomorrow, patchy frost between 7 a.m. and 8 a.m. Sunny, high near 57. Here at Cargill Falls, it's currently 40 degrees. That's the 7:30 report brought to you by Vashon GMC, 139 Pomfret Street in Putnam. I'm Isaac Bean with WINY News. Now back to Gary O.
All right, thank you very much, Isaac. It's 7:39 in my studio today. We're proud to announce that Sergeant Luke Davis, he's a patrol supervisor, Connecticut State Police Troop D, in our studio today. And Sergeant Davis, good morning to you.
Good morning, Gary.
It's a pleasure to have you here today. I know we had a chat and a great meeting earlier this summer, and we said, hey, we got to start checking in with Connecticut State Police, and you're making that happen, and we appreciate that. And we'll be seeing Sergeant Luke Davis on a regular basis here on the WINY Morning Show. Hey, Luke, what'd you bring with you today? Who's this guy?
This morning I have State Representative Patrick Boyd with me.
I've heard of this guy. Pat, how you doing?
Good morning, Gary. How are you?
I'm doing great.
Excellent.
You're in your ninth year serving.
Ninth year, yep.
God bless you. That's
you.
good stuff. You've seen a lot. You've done a lot. Tell me about your committee assignments with the state legislature. What are you doing?
So I'm in my third year as the House Chairman of the Public Safety and Security Committee, which works closely with DESP, which is the Connecticut State Police is part of, Homeland Security, Building Code, Fire Code, and a lot of different areas like that. So it was in that role that we were able to kind of work together on this project. Yeah.
So let's roll out the project. And Sergeant Davis, why don't you start? You two have worked together, a very special, meaningful, impactful project, which will debut on Monday. We'll get into that. But tell me the story. Tell me what happened here.
Sure. So this was prior to my taking the assignment with the Public Information Office. Some of the senior troopers at Troop D came to me and said, hey, Trooper Irving Nelson was one of the earliest heroes of the state police. He was the first trooper to die in the line of duty by gunfire, and also, to date, the only Troop D trooper that was actually killed in the line of duty. And there's nothing on the roadway to commemorate him. I said, okay, well, let's see what we can do about that. So when I went to the assignment at the Public Information Office, I started looking into what needed to be done and learned that it actually has to be approved by legislation to rename a roadway and to actually put signs in place to designate a memorial roadway in memory of a fallen trooper. So the commissioner's legislative liaison put me in touch with Representative Boyd, which was perfect because Representative Boyd and I have known each other for a long time. So that helped out in terms of getting this done, and having his assistance has been absolutely paramount to accomplishing this project.
Well, and part of this is we get a lot of requests that come from the agencies and individuals and stuff. So to have one come across from troopers in the field and to be in my hometown, the town that I represent as well, kind of put it to the top of the list. So we introduced a bill this past session to designate a portion of Route 97 in Pomfret in honor of Trooper Nelson. It went through the legislative process, had a hearing, passed the House and the Senate, was signed into law by the governor. So this coming Monday is the last piece of that, where we're going to officially commemorate that section and dedicate it in his honor. And the hope is to also tell the story and the great work that Sergeant Davis has done to make contact with members of the family. This took place in 1928, just for context. I think it was April.
So he was killed in duty in 1928.
April 6, 1928.
And it's a remarkable story as well.
Yeah. So there is an event that's open to the public, and
Correct.
It's Monday. It's this Monday, October 27th at 4 p.m. Where do we meet for this dedication ceremony?
Yep. So we're going to be at 4:30 at
4:30,
the Pomfret Volunteer Firehouse, which is on Route 97, right next to the Pomfret Little League field.
Yeah.
We're expecting a pretty good turnout of state officials, the state police, and the Academy Alumni Association, as well as Troop D, to kind of go through and tell his story. It's remarkable. It's connected to what was the kind of the icebox. Later became killers, but it was the icebox robbers that went through. These folks were from Springfield. And were known in the Massachusetts and Connecticut area of robbing what were then kind of convenience stores and putting the owners into the ice boxes they made their getaway. So Trooper Nelson was responding to a report of a robbery in Willimantic and was told to head north to Putnam looking for these individuals that were taking away from the scene. So this shootout occurred just past the Four Corners in Pomfret, which eventually led to the death of Trooper Nelson. But the folks were caught.
Yeah. So again, the ceremony is this Monday, October 27th, 4:30 p.m. at the Pomfret Fire Station, open to the public. And again, please come out for this really, really meaningful ceremony. And so, Luke, Sergeant Davis, Representative Boyd just kind of set the story up. But continue with the story too. Tell me what you've discovered about Trooper Irving Nelson, and then lead into his family too, and the reaction when you reached out to family members. Tell me about that.
Oh, certainly. So the story, as it came to be, Trooper Nelson was a 4-year veteran of the state police. He came on board with CSP in 1924, and he worked at a lot of barracks around the state, as was common back then, because our agency was nowhere near the size it is now. So you're talking sub 100 troopers. So it was very common that troopers would move from barracks to barracks. So he had worked out of Westbrook, he worked out of Groton, he worked out of Hartford, and his last duty assignment was in Danielson. At that time, it was called Station 5, now known today as Troop D.
He was from New Haven.
And he was from New Haven, yes. So he was born and raised in New Haven, and was traveling the state working in his capacity as a trooper. And a lot of times back then, it was bootlegging cases, because our agency was more or less founded around Prohibition.
Sure, that's right.
So he was working out of the Danielson barracks. In addition to his time as a state trooper, he was also a World War I veteran. Irving Nelson served in the United States Army with the 103rd Machine Gun Battalion, and made it back from overseas with his service in the Army. So it was on that day, April 6, 1928, he was actually at the barracks when the Be On the Lookout, the BOLO, came over from the Willimantic Police Department regarding these armed robbery suspects. So he began his journey northward towards Putnam in an attempt to locate these subjects. So he spotted the vehicle. The description that was given from Willimantic Police actually came from the son of a gas station owner, excuse me, who knew enough to know about the robbery that had occurred in Springfield, Massachusetts earlier that day, and memorized as much information as he possibly could about the vehicle, what it looked like, what the color was, the license plate on the vehicle, and relayed that to the Willimantic PD. So Willimantic PD put it out on the radio to all surrounding troops and police departments, and Station 5 got that alert, and Trooper Nelson was directed to go north to attempt to locate the vehicle, and he found it. He found that vehicle as he was traveling north on Route 97.
On a motorcycle.
On a motorcycle, yes. Very common at that point in time during our agency that troopers were actually on patrol on motorcycles. And he attempted to stop them. So he signaled the vehicle to stop. He activated lights and siren on his motorcycle. They failed to stop. They engaged him in a pursuit. So he stayed with the vehicle, and at some point during that pursuit, engaged him in a firefight. And Trooper Nelson was struck as a result of this, and he brought his motorcycle to a stop, attempted to seek help at the closest house, and ultimately succumbed to his injuries.
That's a fascinating story. The technical side of it, too, you said that, the description came across the radio, which must have been the newfangled gadget at this time. The first commercial radio station went on the air in 1923. Your event is 1928, so this must have been all the new technology of the day.
Right.
So it's so interesting to hear this story. So now fast forward to today. You decide to honor the memory of Trooper Irving Nelson by naming a portion of Route 97 after him. You've gone through everything you have to go through with the state, and State Representative Pat Boyd making things happen. Everything gets passed. You had to reach out to the family at some point. How did you find the family? Tell me that story.
That was challenging, to say the least. But we have our intelligence operations unit, which is a relatively new addition to the state police. So I reached out to our contacts in the IOU and told them what was going on. I said, hey, this is what we're trying to do. I'm trying to track down surviving relatives of Trooper Irving Nelson. And within that day, I had contact information for Trooper Irving Nelson's granddaughter.
No kidding.
Yes. So that evening, I made a call and spoke with Trooper Irving Nelson's granddaughter in Florida, who was absolutely blown away to hear the story after all these years that the state of Connecticut was finally paying respect to her grandfather's legacy.
And of course, she knows the story has been passed down and told hundreds of times in her family.
Yes.
And
it's been written about in a number of different areas. If you look at it, it's been written about.
Yeah.
But the fact that here in Connecticut, there was no mention of it, and I believe the 2 deaths line of duty prior to this were all car accidents.
They were motorcycle
So,
accidents. Yep.
You know, so it's the first that is by gunfire
Sure.
and this type of thing as well. So
So
great to bring it full
reach
circle.
out of the blue. To the grand. That is such a great story, and she was touched. She was moved by that too, which is great. So,
Yeah.
will family members be at the event on Monday?
Yes. So, although she's unable to make it, she reached out to her daughter, who resides a little more locally from New Jersey, and so Irving Nelson's great granddaughter will be joining us for the dedication.
Man, I'm getting choked up, man. That's a good story. That is a really, really
And
good story.
we have a commemorative sign
Yeah.
that she's able to take back to
Oh,
the family as well. So.
That's good stuff. That is so thoughtful. That's cool. That's an incredible story, and God bless you guys for making that happen. And again, this is open to the public, so you can experience this and be a part of this on Monday, this Monday, gang. That's October 27th at 4:30 p.m. Pomfret Fire Station on Route 97 in Pomfret. That's where we'll gather for a great ceremony and celebrating the life of Trooper Irving Nelson, killed in action, Connecticut State Police, April 6, 1928. And you know what? Sometimes good things come to those who wait, and there's a good example. So good things happening for his memory and for the family also. That's good stuff. Wow. Good job. Good job. You know, I love these good stories, man. That's good stuff. So, Sergeant Luke Davis, again, I can't thank you enough for reaching out to us and starting a conversation. And we're here, and we'd love to have you back. We even got your sign here. So, we'll have you back whenever you feel there's some news that you want to get out on behalf of Troop D or Connecticut State Police, and we're happy to have you. By the way, drug take back on Saturday
That's
at
correct.
Troop D on Westcott Road in Danielson. I always say you can't miss it. Look for the place with all the police cars. That's when you know you're there. And it's from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Just drive right through and drop off your prescription drug medication for Drug Take Back Day. And again, that's happening tomorrow, Saturday, from Connecticut State Police. All right, so Sergeant Luke Davis and State Representative Pat Boyd, last word. Anything else we need to know on this story or anything else coming up, Pat?
No, just pass the word. And you know, we're heading into the holiday season here, so it wouldn't be a state police segment without saying be careful out there.
Absolutely. Sergeant Davis, last word. Anything else?
Absolutely. Please be careful on the roads.
There you go. Well done. Gentlemen, have a great day. Be safe. God bless you, and thank you for joining us. It's 10 before 8. Good morning.
WINY Community Radio, serving Northeastern Connecticut.
This is Chief Chris Ferrasi of the Putnam Police Department.
And I'm Captain